There's a phrase that feels harmless in the moment but carries the weight to destroy trust instantly. Calm down, you're overreacting. It might seem like you're just trying to de-escalate the situation, but to her, it lands like a slap to the soul. Those words don't soothe, they invalidate. Even if she is emotional, even if her reaction feels intense or misaligned with the situation, telling her to calm down doesn't bring peace. It tells her that how she feels doesn't matter, that her emotions are inconvenient, and that you'd rather silence her than understand her. And when a woman feels silenced, something shifts. She stops opening up, stops sharing, stops trusting. The emotional connection begins to crack. A strong man doesn't try to quiet her feelings. He makes room for them. He doesn't panic in the face of emotion. He listens. He breathes. He stands firm in the storm without needing to dismiss the thunder. Because he understands that her emotions aren't the enemy, they're a doorway into something deeper, and instead of shutting that door, he steps through it with presence. Telling her she's overreacting might feel like control, but it's really fear. Fear of discomfort, fear of conflict, fear of not knowing what to say next. If you want to be the kind of man she respects and feels safe with, don't respond to her feelings with judgment. Respond with grounding. Validate her even if you don't fully agree. You don't need to fix it. You just need to hold space for it. Because the truth is, how you handle her hardest emotions tells her everything she needs to know about who you are. And if your words make her feel small, she'll eventually look for someone who helps her feel seen. Choose wisely. Speak gently. Lead with strength, not dismissal. There are few things more damaging to a woman's trust than hearing the words asterisk, "You're just like your mother." Asterisk, it's rarely said with love or curiosity. It's usually a sharp jab thrown in a moment of frustration. And whether you realize it or not, it hits deeper than you intended. For many women, their relationship with their mother is layered, emotional, and often complicated. Comparing her to that figure, especially in a negative light, can feel like you're weaponizing her past against her. It's not just an insult. It's a betrayal of emotional safety. In conflict, it's easy to lash out, to say things that hit hard just to gain the upper hand. But the moment you cross that line from disagreement to character attack, the foundation of respect begins to erode. A strong man doesn't fight to hurt. He speaks to be understood. He doesn't need low blows to prove a point. Instead, he values connection over control and chooses his words like someone who's building, not breaking. Using someone's mother as a target is a lazy shot, a shortcut for men who don't know how to articulate their frustration in a healthy way. But maturity means holding your tongue when it's easier to lash out. It means understanding that when you speak from pain, you can still do damage, even if you didn't mean to. If you're with a woman you care about, protect her vulnerability even in conflict. If there's something she does that bothers you, say it plainly. Own your feelings without dragging her past into the present. Because when a woman sees that you can stay respectful even when you're upset, that's when she knows you're safe. That's when trust deepens. And trust, once broken by careless words, doesn't return easily. Speak wisely, even when it's hard. Telling a woman asterisk, "You're lucky to have me," asterisk might seem like confidence, but it often reveals the opposite. Real confidence is quiet. It's lived, not spoken. When a man feels the need to say that out loud, it usually means he's trying to convince not just her, but himself. It's a defensive statement, one that tries to mask insecurity with arrogance. And the truth is, if she really feels lucky to have you, she'll show it in how she treats you. You won't need to say a word. Relationships thrive on mutual respect. It's not about reminding someone of your value. It's about living in a way that makes that value undeniable. The moment you have to declare your worth, the dynamic shifts. It stops being about connection and starts being about control. It becomes less of a partnership and more of a scoreboard. And that never ends well. A woman doesn't want to be reminded that you're a catch. She wants to feel it through your consistency, your emotional stability, your ability to lead without ego. Bragging about your importance creates distance, but quiet strength, that builds closeness. When you move with calm certainty, she knows exactly what kind of man she's with, not because you told her, but because she sees it in how you handle pressure, how you treat her, and how you carry yourself. True value is expressed through action. You show her she's lucky to have you by how present you are when she needs you, how you handle conflict with maturity, and how you lead without trying to dominate. Don't speak from ego, speak from character. If you're truly high value, she'll feel it in her bones. No reminders necessary. Let your life speak louder than your mouth ever could. When a man constantly says asterisk, I don't care, asterisk, he may think he's staying neutral or avoiding conflict, but to a woman, it often sounds like disconnection. Whether it's about her feelings, her opinion, or something as simple as where to go for dinner, saying, I don't care, sends the message that you're not present, not invested, and possibly not even interested. While you might think you're being easygoing or laid back, repeated apathy starts to feel like emotional absence. And emotional absence is one of the quickest ways to make her feel alone, even when she's right beside you. A woman doesn't expect you to have a strong opinion on everything, but what she does want is your presence. Your engagement. She wants to know that you're showing up with her, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. Saying asterisk, I don't care, asterisk too often makes her feel like she's carrying the weight of the relationship alone. It creates doubt in her mind about whether you're truly in it or if you've quietly checked out. Emotional strength isn't about having all the answers. It's about being there with her in the unknown. It's about making small decisions with intention, about showing you're aware, involved, and attentive. If something doesn't matter much to you, you can still say asterisk, whatever you'd like, I'm good either way, asterisk, and it feels different. It shows openness without disconnection. When a woman feels like her voice is met with indifference, she eventually stops speaking, not because she has nothing to say, but because she doesn't feel heard. Don't let I don't care become your go-to. Care enough to engage, care enough to respond, because if you keep checking out with your words, don't be surprised when she checks out of the relationship altogether. When a man says asterisk, that's just how I am, asterisk, it may sound like self-acceptance, but more often, it's a sign of emotional stagnation. It's not confidence, it's resignation. It's the anthem of someone who's stopped trying, someone who's chosen comfort over growth. And while no one expects you to be perfect, refusing to grow is a decision that quietly destroys connection. A woman doesn't want a man who claims to have it all figured out. She wants a man who's willing to evolve, to reflect, and to show up better than he did yesterday. Saying asterisk, that's just how I am, asterisk, is often a way of deflecting responsibility. It's used to excuse bad habits, toxic behaviors, or emotional unavailability, instead of exploring why something keeps going wrong, or how it affects the person you love. You hide behind this phrase like a shield. But that shield doesn't protect the relationship, it suffocates it. Over time, the woman you're with starts to feel like she's loving a wall instead of a man, and love can't breathe when growth is off the table. True masculinity isn't about being rigid, it's about being grounded asterisk and asterisk adaptable. A strong man owns his flaws without defending them. He doesn't collapse under criticism or deflect with pride. Instead, he listens, reflects, and decides who he wants to become next. He doesn't use "that's just how I am" as a full stop. He uses it as a starting point. If you want real intimacy, real connection, and real respect, growth can't be optional. It must be a mindset. Because the woman who chooses you is not looking for a finished product. She's looking for a man willing to grow beside her. Show her that you don't just talk about being better, you live it. That's the kind of man she won't walk away from.